Not forget, ladies and gentlemen, when you have problems like this that occur, they're going to continue getting worse and worse until people hold themselves accountable for what they are doing. Because when we have racism at this high of numbers, it's sickening. It is. Why are we going back to what we fought against? I don't understand why certain people want to keep living like this, right? I mean, even Cody Rhodes, a wrestler named Cody Rhodes, cut a promo to end racism, right? Because of his biracial daughter, Liberty. I have a biracial daughter. Her name's Atois. The reason why I say that is because I am French, I am native, Italian, and Hungarian, right? That's where all my ancestors come from. Barbara Masri, my baby mama, is half Jamaican, half Italian. So, like I said, I know what this is. I've been with different girls of different race, right? And I don't understand why we still have to live through these problems, right? I really don't get it. I mean, Sheba was a black girl I dated. Alexis, a.k.a. Lexi, another black girl. Look, the point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, is the matter of the fact that I've had friends of all different nationality growing up. I've had girlfriends of all different nationality, all right? We never looked at one another as what I'm saying, okay? The reason why is because we moved past those times in the world growing up in the 2000s. There was no division in schools. No, we all sat next to each other, right? All of us sat next to each other. There's no, oh, you're this color, you go over there. You're that color, you go over here. Oh, you go to this classroom because you're this color. There was none of that when I was in school, all right? Growing up in the 2000s, there was none of that. I was born in 1999. Don't forget that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely sickening to see where racism at today. It is. It's sickening to see how people will defend a killer because he has the same skin color. Same thing with the O.J. Simpson case, right? And then you have these, liberals out here, these white liberals. And this is what Malcolm X warned us about, is the white liberals would be the ones who would destroy society, right? And look what they are doing. The way they defend criminals, right? I'm talking about, Minnesota. I'm talking about New Jersey. I'm talking about the way these people defend criminals. It's absolutely sickening. It is absolutely sickening. These criminals have raped young women, abducted people, robbed people, home invaded people, murdered people. And yet there is people that want them free to the public. No human is illegal, right? Tell that to every other country in the world and see what your response is. I am sick and tired of people that want other people to come and cause harm on innocent civilians, because that's exactly what's happening. These migrants, they don't care for our culture. They come here and abuse our system. They abuse us. They don't have any respect for us. They don't care for what our way of life is. So why should we allow them here? If you want to come to Canada, America, wherever, Japan, you respect the culture, you respect the language, and you adapt to it. Because if you don't, and you come bringing your stuff in, why are you coming somewhere else to force them to believe what you believe in? That's absolutely wrong. If you're going to come somewhere else in the world, like I said before, we can't go to where they come from and do the exact same thing, because we'd be sent immediately out or killed for it, right? Arrested and put as a prisoner in their country for it. But they think they can come here and do that to us. There's a reason why countries like Japan and China are banning mosques, all right? North Korea, all of them, okay? There's a reason why they're doing it, because they are sick and tired of it. The people are sick of it. The way they are being treated from these migrants is absolutely sickening. United Kingdom, stand up. Unite the kingdom. Bring Canada and bring America in, because you know what? We can all work together and fight against this disgusting migrant crisis that we have been dealing with for the past years upon years. And the reason why is because our politicians, our leaders, sold us out. Right? They sold us out for the global agenda. Instead of protecting their citizens, protecting all culture, and protecting our way of life, no, they'd rather adapt new people in here so they don't call it the government, and they take $6,000 a month from innocent Canadian citizens. That's what these migrants do when they come here. They take advantage of our system, and they take all of our taxpayer dollars, and we get nothing in return but the government controlling what we say. No freedom of speech here. It's absolutely sickening. Racism needs to end. We are sick and tired of seeing racism. No matter what color's on what. This needs to end. Carmelo Anthony, I hope you rot in hell, and I hope somebody does something to you in prison for what you did. You are sick. Rest in peace to Austin Mischap, but you are sick, Carmelo Anthony. This situation is absolutely disgusting, right? But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, this just go to show. If the shoe was on the other foot, we'd hear nonstop on the news media about it, right? We'd hear endless amount of riots, protests, sports athletes kneeling everywhere, right? But when it comes to this side of the foot, do we hear anything? Do we see anything? No, we do not. And do you know why? Because that is how it is. Racism will always be here, right? This is why I say all lives matter. It does not matter what skin color. But in this situation, this is the reason why white lives matter. Because we are facing racism at high numbers that, again, nobody's talking about. When you say one dead cracker is another good cracker, that seems pretty racist to me. Because if that was the other way around, and we said the same exact rhetoric, that would be the end of the world. Let me talk about rhetoric really fast. Growing up, I went to a school called St. John's. It's a Catholic school, right? It's right near Grove Street in Windsor, right? Right near Grove Street. There's a boxing gym, and there was Taylor School that was right across the street from it. Me and this girl, Deja, all right? Deja was half black, half native, and we used to get in these arguments back when I was in St. John's, right? She would call me white milk. She would call me white bread. And, you know, I'd call her back chocolate milk and whole wheat bread. Do you know why? Because I used the same rhetoric against her. She wanted to call me racial things. I called her racial things back. And guess what? 20 years later, she decides to apologize to me. Isn't that something? Nearly almost 20 years later, and she apologized for what she said to me growing up. Wow. I guess Deja realized that her mother is pretty racist, right? But I'll save that for another time. Mrs. Lisa Toffenmeyer. Yeah, her and Deja Toffenmeyer, racist. But you know what? It is what it is. Racism needs to end. And I promise, when I am mayor of Windsor, there'll be none of this kind of stuff tolerated in my city. And the reason why is because my name is Tristan Ty Morency, and I'm going to make Windsor great again.